I'm creating this PowerPoint on how to narrate a PowerPoint presentation because I give students the option of presenting online in some of my classes, especially my classes that are completely online. This will take you through the steps through which you can add your voice to each of your PowerPoint slides. The first thing you need to do is to create a new PowerPoint presentation. So select that option on the navigation column on the left. Next, you get to choose a design for your presentation. I think this is the fun part. And so you can look at the options and scroll down, and then you can sort of a little towards the right, there's an option to select the color scheme for your presentation. So next, you add the content to each slide. The title page typically has the title of the presentation on it and your name, affiliation, and other information you might want to include, like co-authors. The next slide would be the introduction slide, which gives an overview of your topic. After that, there's a series of subtopic slides. So these are slides for each of the subtopics in your presentation, maybe some graphs and that sort of thing. And then next, there's the summary slide, where you recap the important points of your presentation. And finally, at the end, and just as important, is your reference slide. That's where you list your references in APA style. Once you have laid out the slides for your slideshow, you need to go back and narrate. In other words, add your voice to each of the slides. And it's really helpful to have a script for this so your presentation will flow smoothly. So what you do is, for each of the slides, you click first Insert. On the far right side of the PowerPoint header, click Media. Under Media, you'll see an option labeled Audio. Click on Audio. Under Audio, you'll see an option labeled Record Audio. Click on Record Audio. You can see it circled down below. Now, in most cases, the microphone built into your computer will be high enough quality to record your voice into your slides without using a microphone. Record your voice into each slide one at a time by naming the audio clip and clicking on the orange dot. Important: when you are finished recording, click on the blue square and then OK. You have to do both of those things or it will not save your audio clip. And finally, move the little speaker icon to a place on the page where it doesn't overlap with your text or images. So usually I do this part for students. They'll turn in their narrated PowerPoint and then I'll go and pay attention to the details. But since you're going to be creating your own narration and posting it yourself, perhaps, I'll include these instructions. The first thing you do is you click on the speaker icon down at the bottom right, and that'll bring up a different menu. The next thing you do is you go to Playback, which is at the top right side of the slide. And then when you click on that, it shows you a menu a little to the left, which includes the category Start. And you click on that, and then you scroll down to Automatically, because otherwise, every time they go to a slide, they're going to have to click on the little speaker icon to get the audio to play. And when you're running it through MP4, they're not going to be able to do that. So what you want to do is set it up to play your voice automatically. So as soon as the slide changes, they'll hear your voice on the next slide. Okay. And that's all you need to do. So again, click on the speaker icon, That brings up the menu that shows playback. Click on playback and then set play to automatically. And one more thing. Be sure to check the volume control on the speaker icon. Make sure it is at full volume, because even at half volume, you might not be able to hear it. All right, so click on the speaker icon and make all the square appear with all the little circles. Then mouse over, put your your little arrow over the speaker icon within the speaker icon. I have a picture where it's enlarged so you can see what I'm talking about. And turn the volume all the way up by making the little black dot go all the way to the top of the volume control. And then that will ensure that the people viewing your slideshow will be able to hear your voice. Good morning. Just wanted to add some clarifications regarding creating narrated PowerPoints and converting them into videos. PowerPoint now gives you the option of saving your presentation as an MP4. And so rather than buy a special program that turns it into a video, you can just do it all within MP4. It doesn't give you the ability to forward the presentation slide by slide, but it does incorporate all the narration and the slides and everything into one package, which is nice and convenient. I don't know whether this format allows you to insert videos. I haven't tried that yet. I now use URL links to post videos and modules and just try to remind myself to go to the video at certain points in the lecture. In fact, I'll even put a slide that says go to video just to remind myself that that's where I like to play that video. Also, the process associated with saving PowerPoints as MP4s takes a little time. So if it does, you can see its progress in the bar at the bottom of the screen. And although you can work on other PowerPoints and even listen to YouTube TV while you're doing this, I have a feeling it interferes. I got some background noise so in this particular PowerPoint, and so I am actually running it through MP4 again to try to get rid of that background noise. And I think it was because I was making a new PowerPoint and listening to television at the same time. So ideally, just let it run its conversion alone by itself with no interference, and always check your video before posting. It's now possible also to load your videos onto YouTube, and there's some pluses and minuses to this. The pluses are listed below, that you can share the video with others via a link rather than having to attach it. And since MP4s take up a lot of space, they're pretty large files, a lot of times people would run into trouble trying to share them with others because the attachment size would be too big. Here you can just post it on YouTube and then share that link. Makes it easier. YouTube also provides automatic basic closed captioning for your PowerPoints, which make them more accessible, and that's actually a requirement for online teaching these days, that they be accessible. In other words, that text be provided along with the video. Not just the text on the slide, but your actual narration, like your script. And it's pretty good at doing that. It's ideally you can go back and check and do your own closed captioning, but the closed captioning within YouTube tends to be pretty good. You need to pay attention to the settings controlling who all can see your video. If you're too restrictive, then only you can see your video. If you're too open, then it's up in public domain and anyone can see and use your video. You may not want that, especially if you spent a lot of time creating your lectures and other sorts of presentations. Sort of the best option is unlisted. So as you go through the options, make sure you control who you want to have see it, and the ways it's presented, and whether people can forward it or embed it, and that sort of thing, to try to give you some control over although I haven't found a way to use private without limiting the viewing of the video to just me, which isn't ideal. In terms of how to do the videos, how to add the videos, I found it a little bit confusing, especially since I have a couple different types of YouTube accounts. So I recommend that you Google, how to load a video onto YouTube, and there are already online tutorials on how to do this, and that's what I did. I just went to one of the tutorials, opened up another window, and went through the steps one by one. And after you do it a few times, it's easier to find your videos. I had a little trouble the first time. Anyway, if you have any trouble, you need more information, you can email me, collins@lasalle.edu, and I'll try to help you out. Thank you.